Greeting ranchers to Mindfulness with Marcia. I hope that you are enjoying the warmer breezes this week at each of our campus locations. Just opening my windows at home has brought me a renewed sense of hope, renewal, and a positivity to my mindful journey. And while when I opened the window and the breezes came in, it just like, that feels good. I stopped to reflect why. Why does it feel good? And that's when I was feeling this renewal, this positivity. And I later went outside to sit on the patio. I have this little teeny patio in my backyard, barely enough room for a grill and one chair. But I was sitting there in my little rocking lawn chair that I have and taking in the sunshine and just a little bit of off task time for the weekend. And this thought started to reoccur in my mind, and it went something like this: Marcia, it's only in this present moment that you experience truly being alive. Now at first I thought I'd missed it, or I was like, what are you talking about? Because dealing with everything with COVID, I have a mom in the hospital back in Indiana. So life and death, and trying to wrap my mind around some of that, I thought that's where it was coming from. But then I realized, no, it was more about being present, not focusing on being alive. That at this present moment, while I was sitting right there, I was experiencing being alive. Life in all of its fullness is happening right around us, but it happens right now at this present moment. Right now, as I'm recording this for you, I recognize that while my thoughts have sometimes been elsewhere, there are beautiful opportunities and moments that are being passed over and lost just due to the flow of time. Time, while it's one of my most precious resources, I've talked about that before, and I believe it's really all of us as humans. Time flows much like the river that's in my backyard. I was viewing the river just flowing and watching the geese kind of just flowing with the current as well as going, against the current, and how much less stress it was when they were just going with the current. And I realized you need, a balance of both. And although I can't possibly experience every single little leaf, that might fall into the water and float downstream, I realized that in the past months, especially, I've gotten so attached to reaching those daily intentions that I put all over these sticky notes all over my desk every day, because they're tasks and goals that I needed to pay attention to. But was I paying attention at all to any of the wonder or all that's all around me? And when I say wonder, I mean even like when I said the breeze, when I opened up the window, it occurs to me that when I do that, when I recognize the wonder, well, that's so important. And if I don't, I live in a world that only exists in my head. Now, not necessarily because I do something on this task list and I use my body and I do the task, but it's really not about observing the present moment. It's about what's going on in my head that I need to do. And it occurred to me that possibly I'm missing life itself. Now, I know this is getting to sound, and even to me here, as I'm sharing it, a little woo-woo-y, but there's just so much to be enjoyed and appreciated in life that happens outside of my head, and yet it's all around me, that I need to remember to pay attention to the present moment, because it is only in that space in which I can truly experience being alive. And it occurred to me that maybe I'm a little out of balance as I was pondering that thought. How about you, ranchers? Have you been as present as you may have wanted to be? Or like all of us, has the changes in your routines of life just messed with your life balance? You know, when we first were home with our children, for example, teaching, oh wow, I'll get to have some presence with my kid and I'll be able to really help them with their math and then it just turned into, it's okay. I'm an educator. I get it. Just get your darn math done, will ya? And in your mind, you're thinking, get that done and we'll be present later. We'll do something together later. You know, has your journey of mindful living perhaps been put on that back burner as you focused on other stuff that were on those front burners and turned up on high? I know I have. So have you taken time to slow down, even while you have those things on the back burner or those ones flaring on the front burner? Taking time to be fully present, even if it's just for a few moments every day. Now we know that as a fact. We know that even a few moments every day helps regulate our nervous system and really makes a difference. We know that, but do we do it? Or were you like me and think, really, a few moments, like, why should I even bother? Well, I can tell you that that was me, and a few moments then turned into longer moments and longer moments. And then, of course, I really started studying mindful living and wanting to make some changes in my life so that those few moments each day became a meditation practice and so on and so on. And it also involves self-care. You have to take some moments for self-care, and recognizing the moment, taking a few breaths, that's all part of self-care. Self-care, as you remember, does not have to mean I book myself a massage. In fact, you can't right now. Those massage places are not reopened. But has self-care just become words lately? I know they had for me. So yes, absolutely life has to be attended to, whether that's at work or at home. I mean, after all, if I don't attend at work, I'm sure Joy is going to ask me to leave my position. And if I don't attend around my home, well, I'm not going to get bills paid. I'm not going to have my dogs fed, you know, on and on and on. And if we are wise, I really believe this, ranchers, if we're wise and we take time to revisit our mindful intentions, in doing that, we rebalance our lives to include some of these present moments. This will help us enjoy it at the same time. It won't be a chore. It won't be something else I have to do. It'll help with the enjoyment of life and help lower the stress and all of those things. You know, right before I started to record this, I took several just deep breaths and wanted to be sure that I was present during the recording. Sometimes I finish recording and I think I've just rambled on and on. Like, yeah, I've got, you know, some themes I want to touch and some examples I want to share with you. But I get off and I think, did I even say everything I wanted to say? I mean, my mind is just not present on the moment. So I wanted to make sure that I was modeling what I was asking to do, and I tried to be very present here with my words and with you today. And I want to invite you to join me because I'm in need of balancing, so to speak. I've thought about it. I've recognized some areas, and now I need to actually take action on my intentions and do it. So could we together play with this idea? When I say play, I don't want it to be another something we've got to do, you know, something I've got to put on one of these. Just to play and be curious about some ways that we could balance ourselves to the moment that we're living right now. And remember, it can be as simple as taking that moment to close your eyes and have a deep breath and focus. Or maybe like me, before I started this recording, I took a couple deep breaths and I actually looked around this container, so to speak, this container that I call my home office right now, just to take in what's here and around me before I began. And in doing so, I was refocusing my attention to the present moment, to the real world, to my life right now. So this week, It's another pause to ponder on balancing ourselves between the present moment and eternity, actually. We can experience and enjoy the full range of reality available to us as spiritual beings living on this earth by just taking a moment to balance between present and eternity. So, my friends, are you balanced today? Will you join me in revisiting that notion and trying to take, even if it's just moments, some time for yourself to be mindful of the present precious moment, this moment right now, that I can't hold it in my hand, but I can hold it in my heart, I can hold it in my body, I can hold it in my mind, and reflect how important it is. And so next time we get together, please stay safe and be well.